So after 32 years of being suppressed by the British Ministry of Defence, an extremely profound image of a UFO has now been released publicly. So let's talk about it. Hey everyone, I hope you had a good weekend. It's very hot in the UK, so that's why I'm outside in my garden doing this talk today. But I wanted to give you an update because there's been a very interesting development in the UFO research world, as a long known about case has finally been vindicated by the release of an extremely interesting photo that has been suppressed by the UK Ministry of Defence for 32 years. A number of researchers, including Vinnie Adams from Disclosure Team, Graham Randall, and other members of the UAP Media UK group, alongside David Clarke, a professor at Sheffield Hallam University, were involved in uncovering the original photograph that was taken back in August in the year 1990 in an area of Scotland called Calveen. Two young men who had been working in the local town travelled over to Calveen to go for a walk up in the hills. It was during this time that they saw an incredible sight. A large, diamond-shaped object, approximately 100 feet in length, was hovering completely silent in the sky in front of them. It scared them so much that they ran to some nearby bushes to hide. And it wasn't long after that they heard the noise of a fighter jet coming by, travelling north. Then the jet came back and began circling around this object, which had at this time remained completely silent and stationary in the sky. The jet was circling around this large diamond-shaped craft, and it was during this time that these two young men decided to take a photograph of the scene. And it's this photograph that has recently been released publicly. Before this, we only ever had illustrations of the event, but we can now present the genuine photograph taken of this object in 1990, and here it is. So you can see that there is a large diamond-shaped object with an RAF fighter jet banking around the bottom right of the image. The object appears to have rivets and other indications of being a manufactured technology of some form. It's extremely interesting, and it's now causing debate between researchers as to whether this is a legitimate extraterrestrial craft or an experimental, human-made, possibly even US-derived technology. But these two young men took the image to one of Scotland's leading newspapers, the Daily Record. But they never printed a story, and the images themselves were provided to the UK Ministry of Defence. The images vanished, and the two young men vanished along with them. But through the investigative work of David Clarke, the Sheffield University lecturer who led the investigative charge to get this photo out into the public domain, David managed to get in touch with a retired RAF official called Craig Lindsay, who just so happened to be the first official to speak to one of these young men after the incident took place. Turns out that this guy had basically been waiting for an opportunity to share his story, and it also turns out that he broke protocol and stashed a copy of this image taken, put it in his desk at work for 32 years, and it was hidden between the pages of a copy of his book, Great Aircraft of the World. But this image basically went up the chain of command in the Ministry of Defence. Craig was told to forget about it, and the rest is history. People have been trying to get this image out for a long time. Illustrations, as I said, were drawn up. They've been on the internet for many years, but we now have the legitimate image, and it's certainly one to take seriously. The Ministry of Defence certainly took it seriously. But the question now is, what is it? Is this a genuine unidentified aerospace vehicle with non-human occupants controlling it? Is this an experimental black budget technology that two guys going out for a walk in the countryside just so happened to witness? It's hard to know for sure. Tell me what you think about this whole situation. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay updated, and if you want to support Project Unity even further, gaining access to early content as well as a thriving Discord community full of informed, creative, curious and friendly people, then sign up to become a Patreon of Project Unity. Links can be found in the description box below. See you next time, and stay curious.